my chat filter. Get my tripod off the very edge of the table. Figure out which one we're doing. Oh, that's cool. Did that one already. Let's see here. It's pretty, but I don't think... I will be doing this one day, but not today, I don't think. Probably won't do that one because that will take me hours. Maybe someday. Not today, though. Oh, he's neat. I do like that one, but I'm also kind of debating on this one. I am a sucker for a hummingbird. Please don't mind the crunching and munching of my dog with his bone. Let's see. Well, that's cute. Let's see if we can... This one's very simple, but I could play with markers and pencils with it. So I think this is where we're going to go. Very simple. And what I really kind of want to do should be kind of fun is I want to outline things with the markers and then color them in with the pencils, unless I decide one piece needs to be just marker or just pencil. I think it'll be kind of neat to have the combination of the two. Since I have a bunch of both, why not, right? And I'm testing a theory here. We're going to see which looks better. I'm going to do this one before and the next one after. Hello, Daniel Berry. How are we doing today? I am enjoying my day off and really, really hoping that this rain will eventually go away. I'm kind of over it. It's very achy. That is the fun part about getting older. I have arthritis everywhere, and this weather is not helping matters at all. And I'm not doing my best tracing job here. We're going to blame it on the arthritis and call it a day. That needs sharpened. And for once, my sharpener was sitting on top. So I'm really, really hoping the birds are going to behave today. I gave them each their own sprig of millet. Cross our fingers and hope. That usually keeps them occupied for a... We're going to have one of these days. Right off the bat. It happens. Lord knows if a broken colored pencil is the worst thing that happens in a day, I'm doing pretty good. Hello, Becky White. How you doing today? Okay, let's try that for a third time. First time it was too dull. Then it broke. Now we got it. I think I'm going to like that effect. But I think it might be better if I outline after instead. Because I feel like I'm kind of pulling that ink a little bit. I cannot write your name. I am not drawing. I am coloring in a book. I could write your name, but it would mess up my picture that I did not draw myself. So I do apologize for that. That is way brighter than I wanted, but it might work. It might work well over top of another pink. I will never understand, and this is nothing against you, sir or ma'am. Your name doesn't really tell me one way or the other. Why do people go into somebody's life, which is kind of like walking into their home, and demand that they do something? Like, if you walk, and even if, like, if you did go into somebody's life, and they're drawing, why would they want to mess up their picture by writing somebody's name on it if they're trying to actually draw something specific? If you wouldn't do it in person, don't do it on a live. It's just kind of rude. I think everybody kind of gets the feeling of being behind the screen makes it okay to do things you wouldn't do in person. I will never be that person. But that is my rant for the day. I'm just a very big fan of treating people with respect, the same respect that you would like to be treated with. And I think I definitely need that nice bright pencil I've got over there so that you can actually see the pink I'm putting down. Oh, I know what I forgot. Hang on. There we go. That's better. I forgot to put my light on. Sorry about that, guys. That makes it look a little better, doesn't it? So I hope everybody is excited for the weekend. My weekends are usually a little bonkers because that's when I work. But for most everybody else, that's when they're off of work. So it works for me. There we go. This one is definitely a little bit longer of a word. What are you doing, Loki? My dog is rearranging his bed. If you hear the ruckus behind me. He likes to be in the room. And he wants to take a nap, but nothing is quite exactly the way he wants it to be. So I think we're settling in for a nap now, finally. Maybe. Maybe not. One thing with living with a house full of pets is you get very, very accustomed to the noise. There is no such thing as a quiet day in my house. Not really. Somebody always wants attention. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. Because I have all these crazy little lives that rely on me for a lot. And it keeps every day different. Every day is a little on the hectic side, whether I'm working or not. I think I picked up the pencil that Has air bubbles in it. This may be a little bit loud. Give me just a second. Come on. I know you work. Let's take a peek. No, there's no reason it shouldn't be working. The air bubble's not even anywhere close to the top. See, I do check every so often, and if you keep gel pens, that is not the piece I was trying to pull. If you keep gel pens, it's always good to check. You can see. Sometimes they get these crazy air bubbles in them. And it's a pain to try and work those back to where they belong, which is at the end of the pen. Come on. I may have to switch pinks, which is not ideal, but I'll fight with that later when I'm not trying to do something. Let's see. I don't like that one as much. It's very dark. Not me with my 3 dozen different pink pens. That one's not quite as bright, but it'll do. One's even lighter. What about you? You're more of a purple than a pink, aren't you? Sorry about that, guys. And thankfully the transition isn't terrible from one pink to the other. It's not what I would like it to be, but this one decided not to cooperate, and this one was really, really dark. And now this one wants to be uncooperative. Really, guys? I think I may need to invest in some more gel pens because mine are being very uncooperative lately. I am trying now to work quickly. To keep the ink flowing. There we go. Wee up and around. I couldn't decide what the easiest way to do this would be, so I decided to follow one line and kind of hope it works to go around. I'm just realizing that this is going to be a very long process. Whee! But I do rather like the look. I think I might be getting tired of fighting with these pens though, so I don't know how much we'll use them in the rest of the picture. Just simply because this is getting difficult. And I think I might be going a little bit cross-eyed trying to follow these tiny little lines around my camera. But it does make for an interesting look. There we go. We have almost made it. A little bit of a rough start, but hey, we got it. And I once again forgot to turn my TV off, down. And I have once again forgot to change it over to something for the birds, so they are watching Buffy. Because that is my current binge. Okay. It was a pain, but it was worth it. Because I actually really like the way that looks. So, now we're going to go in with different colors and do the flowers up top and the butterfly. But I think I'm going to start with the butterfly. And I am going to actually go a little bit more on the details today because it is a very simple picture. It's not one of the more elaborate ones I usually do. So we're just going to actually take the time and make it a little bit more detailed than usual. I usually kind of stick to as simple as possible to try and stay within a reasonable timeline. But seeing as it took me 15 minutes to do 2 words, I guess we might as well focus on the details a little bit more today. And I think I'm going to still have a little fun with my markers. And, or pens or whatever. And come in with a few details here and there for them. Staying occupied when the weather is just dreary and gross is always a good idea. Especially when my birds are actually being really, really good. Part of me thinks I probably just should have taken a nap, but I do try to stick to my timeline and my word, and even if I am habitually late to the 3 o'clock I originally aimed for, at least show up and do it. So this was my original plan anyway, was to kind of combine the pens and the pencils to kind of do a different type of thing. But boy, does that make a difference, doesn't it? I don't know that I'm going to do every single line on these wings, just because that would take a while. But we can do the outlines. I think here and here. Maybe we'll do some of the lines going across them. See what it looks like without. I do love how lining it with the pen does make it look a little bit brighter and a little bit stronger of color. Okay, I can live with that. I'll go between a couple of them like that. go. And there's the Q&A asking me if I want to start doing a Q&A. That would be easier said than done when I'm trying to concentrate on this. One of these days, though. When I have a little bit of free time, I might do a Q&A style for the pets or the different art styles. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely liking the way this actually came out. It's kind of different. I'm definitely going to hit my 30-minute mark today. But same as always, I'll still go until I'm done. It's only right. I've done one or two where I decided to split it over a couple of lives. I just don't like starting in the middle of a page. So it's really hard to tell where like a halfway point would be. And then if you actually start, if you pick up where you left off, then it ends up taking like 5 minutes. Then you have to end up starting a new one. And it gets in this vicious cycle that I don't enjoy. I'd rather do a full picture each day. I feel more accomplished that way anyway. I do love that the flowers up top look like fuchsia. If you are unfamiliar with the fuchsia plant, you should look it up. They are beautiful flowers. And if you saw that little drawback from my coffee cup, that was I have nerve damage in my hand, and sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to do. And if I'd have tried to pick that cup up, I would have instantly dropped it. And we can't be having that. So I dropped the pencil instead. So I actually have an idea on this one. I think this is going to be kind of fun. I know that purple is very light. They called it magenta. Looks kind of purpley to me. It's that wonderful right between purple and pink. And I actually have a marker almost exactly the same. There are my birds. And I just have to remember which one it was. Was it you? Yes. Does not look anything like its cap. I'm actually fairly proud of my birds. They lasted a lot longer before they started throwing a fit for attention today. There have been days where they actually ended up making me have to end a life because they just would not stop. There we go. Okay, so I didn't trace those lines quite as well. I will own that. It happens. I don't stress over perfection, though. I do this for fun. I'm not getting paid. It's not anything like that. It's just for fun. I do have a few people who pop in and hang out with me sometimes, which I enjoy that a great deal too. I like when people come in and actually sit and chit chat with me. It's definitely enjoyable. Because I started out with just long form videos, so that's literally just sitting talking to a camera. So with these, when somebody pops in and actually sits and visits with me, it makes me very, very happy. Now these I am not going to marker in. I think that needs to be the red. I think he's just going to be different shades of red and purple because I can. And I kind of ended up going that way. And it's an odd mix. But I kind of like it. We might add a few different colors down here though. I'm starting to come to the conclusion that I need to turn my heater down. There we go. Let's go ahead and... Oops. That one will get covered up by the purple anyway. Might look a little off, but it won't be too bad. I have a feeling we're going to be doing flowers after my 30-minute mark that I like to make sure I at least pass. Alrighty. There we go. Kind of getting tired of red and purple. What else should we add in here? Might just do a blind grab and see what I come up with. It's always a fun one. It's a little too greeny. Okay, that clashes fantastically. We're going to skip the blind grab and go with this pretty bubblegum pink, they call it. If you ever see me holding a pencil kind of funny, that is just simply me trying to keep my grip. I think we're going to do all of this part, the bubblegum pink. I actually have a marker to match it that's going to come in and I already gave you Millet. Alright, Millet has run its course. I've got to go throw them a Cheez-It. I will be right back. Well, you guys are still kind of coming with me because I've got you in my ear. headsets are a wonderful thing. Would it do the trick? Is that what you wanted? You want Jesus? There you go. Yummy? There you go. I don't spoil my parts, I swear. Okay, maybe just a little bit. All right. That should last about 3 to 5 minutes, but hey, that's doesn't give them a chance to go to the absolute top of their lungs. They usually take a little while to work their way up there, unless something startles Zelda and she starts sounding the alarm. Then it gets very loud very quickly. Well, that's darker than I wanted it to be. Yeah. It'll work. Unless... yeah, it'll work. We're not going to do all of them, just some of them. Just enough to give a little pop here and there. Or my pen might just decide, nope, it's just blending in a little more than I was expecting it to. But there we go. And then we're going to come in and just do these. And we had a very short, very quick pop in by my roommate. She's I don't think she realized I was on. But we don't bar people from rooms in this house. Oh, I just realized I missed this bottom part. Even though you don't see it all that much, we'll still do a couple of these. Actually, I kind of like that. You know what? I found a different way. There we go. That just adds a little bit of texture. And I have passed my 30-minute mark. My hands are starting to get a little mad at me. So we are going to go ahead and just back off on the details just a little bit and get this thing done. Because I think she was wanting to use the kitchen. And as I said, my hand is starting to throw a fit, as are my birds. And you know what? We're going to actually come in with this pretty blue for his bottom and his head. And then we're going to come back over that with this for his eyes. We're also going to just go over his little antenna. There we go. And there we go. And now, I know exactly the color I need. Well, colors are actually this, and I'll use this. There almost done. Well, that's not a very big difference between the two colors, is it? I need a deeper purple. Well, actually, haha. Hello, Giovanni. How are we doing today? Are you the Giovanni that usually pops in, or do we have a different? All right. I don't remember the E5 one, but okay. I was just making sure. How's everything going? I try not to assume too much. That was intentional. And then we're going to take my purple. Okay. Getting closer and closer to done with this guy. I'm putting way too much pressure on one ankle there. I think I'm actually going to do those guys. The remainder as solid pink. Because the flower they remind me of does come both in solid colors and in two colors. I am getting close to finishing up today, but I'm still here. I still have to do the green, so I'm not done yet. I started out long and slow with it, and this is what I do as a hobby. Well, this is one of my many hobbies. I keep exotic animals. I do different forms of art. I roller skate. I haven't had a chance to do that in a while, though. There's not a really good rink around me. I sing. I dance terribly on occasion. How about you? Okay, that's cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I actually was very into comic books when I was younger. And off to a good old-fashioned green. So what kind is it? What's it about, if you don't mind me asking? actually one of those things I love to encourage other people to do their own types of art. So I love hearing about stuff like that. There we go. Oh, okay. That's kind of neat. It's a kind of a game, a horror game type of vibe. That's cool. I love watching certain streamers play scary games. There's quite a few who are really good with them. I'm definitely not somebody who watches the hardcore gamers, though. I like the ones with a sense of humor. Phew. My hand is getting tired. But we're almost done. It's only taking me almost 45 minutes. This took me a solid 15 minutes. But sometimes it's good to take your time a little bit and try and deal with some more details than you normally would. I thought that was a leaf over there. That is a flower. That's what I get for paying attention, right? There we go. So I think I am finally done. But I will definitely be back on, well, I might be back on Monday. I do have to take a couple of my cats to the vet to be fixed, but hopefully I should be done by 3. I should be on then. So I will talk to you guys next time.